The 2025 Lexus ES, one of my most favorite luxury cars on sale right now. And as always, towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with my audience how you can take 6% off MSRP on the 2024 ES 350, 250, and even the hybrid. So stay tuned until the end. But for right now, the only new change that we have for 2025 is the return of the Blackline Special Edition, which features obsidian outer mirrors, a black rear lip spoiler, and black lower rocker panel. That's it. There's no other new changes, and there is no price increase for the ES either. Usually they like to increase the price by about $500, but they didn't do that here, and I appreciate that. And yes, the same trim levels, the same engine options continue here. We have the 3.5 liter V6 engine, which can only be had as a front wheel drive. Then you have the ES 250 with the 4-cylinder, which can come as all-wheel drive. Then you have the ES 300h hybrid, which is brilliant. In my opinion, I would go for either the 3.5 liter V6 ES 350 model or the hybrid, because the hybrid truly is ultra refined, very smooth and quiet. It doesn't make a racket when you step on it. So despite it having pretty low horsepower numbers, the feeling out on the road is brilliant, and you're going to be getting over 40 mpgs while being wafted around in pure luxury. And the other thing I would do is, for once, I would go with the top spec ultra luxury model, which is going to set you back about 55 grand if you go with either the ES 350 or the ES 300h. So why would I spend all of this money on this particular sedan? Well, that's because the ultra luxury will get you noise reduction 18-inch wheels, and those wheels are not a gimmick. It really does make the ES truly silent out on the road. And you of course pretty much get a fully loaded ES as well, with all of the great features, but they still tax you for the Mark Levinson audio system. That's another must-have. You have to pay extra for that. And the triple beam headlights, I would get that as well. Both of those things should just come standard with the ultra luxury. I hate the way they make you pay up for it, but regardless, just do it. The Mark Levinson is genuinely one of the best audio systems for the money and even beyond the ES's price tag. The F Sport model is also cool. If you like that, go for it, because they've done a really excellent job in tuning that over the years. But I just believe that the ultra luxury trim level accentuates the best qualities of the ES, like being a quiet, refined, and perfect riding experience. And once again, the V6 creamy, naturally aspirated engine or the super smooth hybrid drivetrain, that also accentuates the ES's smooth driving demeanor. The 4-cylinder does have some pretty good discounts, so if you're leasing it or you absolutely need all-wheel drive, I guess you can go for it. It is available to you, but once again, I just believe the V6 and the hybrid captures the essence of the ES the best. But yeah, as always, I'm gonna have the full press release on the screen for you to read and to check out. I do like the way they provide you with useful safety tech as standard, like the blind spot monitoring, the rear cross traffic alert, and I like how the infotainment screen, it's actually wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. I think that's brilliant. The only things I don't like about the ES is the fact that you cannot fold down the rear seats, and the fact that all-wheel drive is not available on the V6 models. Outside of that, this is pretty much perfect, and I guess the only other turnoff is, for most people, is the fact that this is not an SUV. So that's going to turn off a lot of buyers for that reason alone. But for those wanting an exquisite driving experience without shelling out 6 figures, the ES is epic. And I'm saying this after I just got done reviewing a $250,000 luxury vehicle. That review will come out soon, but despite that experience, I'm still super high on the ES. In fact, it's got similar refinements as well. As promised at the beginning of this video, here's how you can save 6% off MSRP with a 2024 ES. You can reach out to a broker named AutoCompanion, who is one of the largest automotive brokers in the United States, him and his partner dealerships are offering 6% off across the board on 2024 ES sedans. But AutoCompanion also has a free leasing calculator that you can use. And this is one of the most powerful tools that a consumer can use because it shows you the interest rate of a lease along with the residual values and the incentives that you can qualify for in your local area. So I urge you to use this calculator whether you are paying cash, financing, or leasing. This is really powerful because incentives stack on top of the dealer discount. So when you lease the ES, you can get like an additional $2,000 lease cash or over $3,000 lease cash with the 4-cylinder ES 250 and about $1,000 in lease cash for the hybrid. So that stacks on top of the 6% off. So yeah, those are some deep discounts, and it's imperative that we use tools like this so we can see what we qualify for, and so we're not leaving money on the table, because if you don't know about these things, the dealership will simply pocket that incentive money for themselves. So that's why I always recommend using AutoCompanion's calculator and to use his brokering service so you can get the maximum discounts possible. And something else I would do is I wouldn't just do a traditional lease. I would actually do a one-pay lease on one of these ES models, especially if you have cash on hand. The reason for that is because the interest rate of these leases, they're not great. It's a little over 5%, and that's with perfect credit. So if you just did a regular lease on one of these, the payments are going to be astronomical, close to $800 a month. If you do a one-pay lease, you can cut that interest significantly. Sadly, AutoCompanion's calculator does not show the one-pay lease interest rates, but that's something him and his team can help you figure out. The high payments are fine as long as you are creating equity in the vehicle, but at 5% interest, it's very difficult to create proper equity. So that's why it's imperative that you do things like a one-pay lease, especially if you want to buy out the vehicle at the end of the lease. You know how people say that leasing is just throwing away money? Those are people that don't quite understand these nuanced details regarding the lease. They never studied it. But getting a low interest rate lease with some great incentives, that can put you in a positive equity position, especially on a vehicle such as the ES. And towards the end of the lease, if you want to buy it out, you would have built up some good equity. That's another reason why I recommend doing the one-pay lease. Again, only if you have the cash to do such a thing, because as you can see on the calculator, it's when you do the lease where you get the additional incentives that stack on top of the dealer discount. So if you're interested in working with AutoCompanion, he is located in Washington, D.C. He can ship nationwide, although that's something you have to pay extra for. Now, he does charge a broker fee to access his excellent deals. However, if you sign up with my affiliate link in the description box below, he will take some money off of his broker fees. And with that, I hope you appreciate this knowledge, this information, and these resources. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. But thank you so much for watching this review. Take care and goodbye.